Hi friends, hello, how are you? Are you happy? Staying safe at home? Friends, welcome to Biju Guy's Teaching Cafe. This is a very short lecture on the theme Political Socialization and Recruitment. As we have been discussing system theory, behavioralism and others, this topic is very important because in the previous lecture we have talked about Gabriel Allman's theory of structural functional analysis. That analysis, we have seen that one of the important input function of political system according to Gabriel Allman is that of political socialization and recruitment. This is an extension of that lecture. Friends, once more, welcome to Biju Guy's Teaching Cafe. Have you ever noticed in novels, in movies or any other platforms where characters saying that thanks to someone for being born in their lifetime? I have seen my parents and grandparents, their generation, being so much proud of being born in the generation of Mahatma Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru. Friends, their generation was proud of their generation's leaders, icons, stars, ideologies and the calamities they faced. Why? It is because the value system they developed all come from those great leadership and the generation they were born. I have seen my parents' generation being proud of Nehru because it was Nehru who built great institutions for India, having great respect for human dignity and freedom, a great liberal. Friends, the idea I am going to tell is very simple. The values, the attitudes, the emotion, the philosophy, the worldview that you all have are not inherited from the generations previous, but they come from your surroundings, from people you network, from the people you talk to regularly, from the books you read, from the media you watch, from the movies you watch, from the stars you adore of your generation, and so on. This process in political science classes is called socialization. So in sociology, socialization is the process of internalizing the norms and ideologies of society. So socialization is the process whereby an individual learns to adjust to a group or society and behave in a manner approved by the group or the society. Simple. So according to most political scientists, socialization essentially represents the whole process of learning throughout the life course, and it is the central influence on the behavior, beliefs and actions of both the adults and the children. In the similar way, political socialization is a process in which people are inducted into political culture of your nation. So political scientist Gabriel Allman and James Coleman once observed that we do not inherit our political behavior, attitudes, values and knowledge through our genes. Nobody give it us. We are not inheriting it from our forefathers. Rather, we come to understand our role in society and to fit in and to fit in, double inverted comma, and to fit in to our political culture through the political learning process. Through the political learning process. You may refer to Gabriel Alman and James S. Coleman's book, The Politics of Developing Areas, published in the year 1960, page number 27. So political learning is a broad concept that encompasses both active and passive, and formal and informal ways in which people mature politically. So individuals develop a political self. You develop a political self, a sense of personal identification with the political world. Developing a political self begins when you start from childhood to feel that you are part of a family, you are part of a community, you are part of a group. It begins from childhood. You learn to know that you are part of something. You acquire the knowledge, the beliefs, the values that help you comprehend government and politics from your early childhood. So political socialization is a particular type of political learning whereby people develop the attitudes, values, beliefs, opinions and behaviors that are conducive to becoming good citizen in your own country. So you have to study, therefore you have to study political socialization through this formula. I am going to tell you. The formula is like this. Who, that is the people, who learns what? That is, what means political values, beliefs, attitudes and behaviors. Who learns what? From whom? Who means from which sources? That is the agents. The agents who give you these beliefs, attitudes and opinion. Who learns what? From whom? Under what circumstances? With what effect? This is a formula through which you have to study political socialization in political science classes. So agents of socialization, which include parents, teachers and the mass media and so many other agencies, they convey orientation to subjects or citizens, and citizens are supposed to be mostly passive. So friends, have you noticed that usually young people like you who are sitting in front of me in my classrooms or who are watching this video lecture, you are most likely to become a communist or a BJP or a Congress if your parents believe in either of these political parties and its ideologies. Because why? Because you learn from your parents, from your family. And you learn political ideologies and orientation towards a political party not through your cognitive abilities but through intellectual, not through your intellectual ability but through the way in which you are attached to your parents, to your family, wherefrom you get all these orientations. Friends, young people like you are most likely to become active supporters of either CPM or BJP or Congress or some other political parties because the locality you are born have excessive commitment to a political party. I have seen young people telling me blindly about political parties and their leaders because their political orientation comes not through critical mind but unconditional faith in a party and ideology or even a leader. Independent thinking is a myth in political life, friends. Is it true? Yes. We learn so many things from parents, peer group and neighborhood. Parents who take an active role in politics and vote in every election often influence their children to do the same. Right? Young people who see television coverage of their peers volunteering in the flood or calamity may take the inspiration from these depictions and engage in community service themselves. Young people like you can be socialized into politics through dinner conversations with your family members, watching television and movies, participating in a Facebook group, or texting with friends. You can learn political orientations through this medium. The effects of these experiences are highly variable, of course, as people can accept, reject, or ignore political messages. Some scholars will argue that political socialization is analogous to indoctrination, as it forces people to conform to the status quo and even inhibits freedom and creativity in you. That is, you blindly supporting a political party or a leader and so on. That is a kind of indoctrination. You are born in a particular area where there will be only a particular political party and the dominance of a particular leader. You will naturally get indoctrinated by their ideology and their leader. You will never think critically. So it's because you are socialized into blind faith in a party and ideology. So political learning begins early in childhood and continues over a person's lifetime. The development of a political self begins when children realize that they belong to a particular town and eventually that they are an Indian, if it is a case of India and Indian citizens. Younger children tend to personalize government. You might remember the first political objects that you have recognized during your school days or your younger age, during your childhood. Maybe the Prime Minister of India or the police officer in your locality. So what are the agents of political socialization? Friends, there are so many agents. You develop political values, beliefs and orientations through interactions with so many agents of political socialization. They include parents, teachers, friends, co-worker, your colleague, military colleagues or church associates, club members, sports team, competitions or competitors, media, so many things. So family, let us say family. So friends, in a pioneering political socialization researcher, Herbert Hyman proclaimed once that foremost among agencies of socialization into politics is the family. He stated that this idea in the book Political Socialization, published in the year 1959. Herbert Hyman, Political Socialization, 1959. So the family has the primary responsibility for nurturing individuals and meeting basic needs such as food, shelter during the formative years of your character. A hierarchical power structure exists. A hierarchical power structure exists within families that stress parental authority and obedience to rules that parents establish. And you learn the habit of obeying authority, rules from this system that is being developed in your family by your parents. So the strong emotional relationship that exists between family members may compel children like you to adopt behavior and attitudes that will please your parents. Or conversely, you may become a rebel if there is no emotional relationship within the family. So if there is an emotional relationship within the family, you will be emotionally attached to your nation. If there is no emotional relationship in your family and you always try to rebel against your parents, you will also become a rebel in the society and against the state. That's what, socialization literatures will tell you. So parents can teach the children about government, institutions, political leaders and current issues. But this rarely happens. Schools, another very important agent of socialization. Some scholars would even consider that schools, rather than family, to be the most influential agent of political socialization. For example, Robert Hess and Judith Torney in their famous book, The Development of Political Attitudes in Children, published in 1967, had this idea. Schools can stimulate political learning through formal classroom instructions via civics and history classes. The enactments of ceremonies and rituals such as the flag salute and extracurricular activities such as student government, mock parliament in your classroom. So respect for authorities such as, the respect for authorities is emphasized in your classrooms, as teachers have the ability to reward and punish students through awarding grades. So the most important task of schools as agents of political socialization is the passing on of knowledge about the fundamentals of government and politics, such as constitutional principles and its implications to you citizens and other aspects of engaging in politics. So students who master these fundamentals feel competent to participate politically in your society. Right. So you are most likely to participate in a better way in the political affairs of society if you get a good education, civic education in your schools. Right. Peer group. Another very important agent of socialization is peer group. Friends, peer group means a group of people who are linked by common interest, equal social position and similar age can be very influential in the political socialization process. So young people desire approval and are likely to adopt the attitudes, viewpoints and behavior patterns of groups to which you belong. Unlike the family or the school, which are structured hierarchically with the adults exercising authority from the top, the peer group is a forum for you young people where you interact with people who are similar of your age, of your attitudes, of your intellectual capability and of your level of maturity. So peers provide role models for people like you who are trying to fit in or become popular in a social setting. So peer group influences you, and its influence begins when you are children and when you reach schools and spend less time at home. So peer group influence or your childhood friendship are largely segregated by sex and age, as groups of boys and girls will engage in social activities such as eating together in the lunchroom or going to the mall or going for a picnic or tour. So such interactions reinforces sex role distinctions in society, including those with political relevance, such as the perception among you that the males are more suited to hold political positions than girls. These kinds of attitudes you develop through your peer group social interactions. So friends, if you have a good and intelligent friendship network, you will become very intelligent also. If you have friends who read very well, you also will become a good reader. If you have friends who who never reads, you will never read. So if you have friends who find pleasure in networking and wasting time for unnecessary friendship, you will also get inspired by these kinds of things. If group members are engaged in activities directly related to politics, such as student government or working on a candidate's campaign, you will get inspired by these kinds of activities. So young people like you will learn political viewpoints and perceptions through your peer group socialization. So media is another very powerful and important agent of socialization. So for political scientist Charles E. Merriam observed that radio and film had tremendous power to educate. Millions of people are reached daily through these activities and are profoundly influenced by the material and interpretations presented in impressive form incessantly and in moments when they are open to suggestions. He stated this, Charles E. Merriam stated this in the book The Making of Citizens, published in the year 1931, page number 160 and 61. You may refer, please. So the number of media outlets has increased these days, and as new technologies allow you for more interactive media experiences, the media's role in socializing you has increased. So most people's political experiences occur variously through the media, because they do not have personal access, because you do not have personal access to government or political leaders. It is through media you access these kinds of agencies. So since the advent of television, mass media have become most prominent socialization agents. So the use of more personalized forms of media, such as text messaging and participation in social media networking sites, the role of mass media as an agent of socialization has increased. So, but the point is that media are rich source of information about government, politics and current affairs, and you people learn a lot of things about politics through the televised programs, but there is some factors will work against even socialization, because media are first and foremost profit driven, right? They are entities created sometimes only for profit. That does not mandate. Sometimes it doesn't warrant them to be civic educators. So they balance their public service imperative against their desire to make money and profit. So moreover, unlike teachers, journalists do not have formal training in how to educate citizens. So teachers have great role in educating citizens. But journalists are not like teachers. They just report. And oftentimes their reporting style of presentation will be motivated by profit and other kinds of considerations, which are not that much positive compared to the jobs of teachers to train and educate young citizens like you to become good citizens. So political socialization, of course, it's an input function according to Gabriel Almond in his system analysis, structural functional analysis. The first input function of political system is political socialization and recruitment. Through the process of political socialization, people like you gradually adjust yourself with the political system. So political system, Almond says, is the process of induction into political culture. So its end product is a set of attitudes, cognitions, value standards and feelings towards the political system. Its various roles and role incumbents. In developed political system, so Gabriel Almond says, the schools, churches, political parties and other voluntary organizations generally play a great role in socializing young people like you into the political culture. But the socialization process is not very much prominent in third world countries, Gabriel Almond says. They exist, socialization agents exist, but they are not that much prominent. As society gradually develops, the process of socialization also proceeds. That was his idea. So from the study of political system, Almond has come to know that socialization may be latent or manifest. Keep that point, latent or manifest. When the transmission of values, ideas, thoughts, feelings, etc. take place in a direct way, it may be called manifest. Latent political socialization is the idea that your thoughts, ideas, feelings, etc. take place indirectly. That is latent political socialization. So the values, thoughts, ideas, feelings of one system are influenced by those of other systems, Gabriel Almond says. So both the latent and manifest socialization work simultaneously in any political system, and both are very important. Both latent and manifest socializations are very important. So regarding political recruitment, Gabriel Almond says political recruitment function takes place where the general political socialization function leaves off. That is, political recruitment function recruit members of a society, that you may be belong to subcultures, religious communities, caste groups, racial groups, different class status, ethnic communities. and you are inducted into specialized roles into the political system. The system train you into appropriate position with appropriate skill, provide you with the political cognitive maps, values, expectations and effects. So here government and non-governmental organizations such as political parties and groups etc. recruit persons like you and train you to perform specific functions. This is the important functional specialization of a political system, recruiting members to various structures of political system. But friends, anyway, according to Gabriel Almond, political socialization and role recruitment is one of the very important input function of any political system. Friends, with this I am going to end this lecture. Have a nice time. Drop some comments and questions. Thank you. Bye.